Greeting everyone. It's me, Jivan Dhakal, the Managing Director and the Program Conductor of JD Learning and Entertaining. As usual, we are again here for the discussion uh, related to the topics regarding teaching and learning and different problem which occur in the teaching and learning. Okay, and today we have a topic which is very beneficial for the teachers, for all education related people. The topics for today is differentiated instruction, differentiated learning. Okay, and this is one of the modern approach, modern technique which appeared in the field of teaching and learning in modern era. Okay, and these topics, I think these topics will be benefited for all the people. And next thing, here is our one guest, Tara Chandra Yogi, who is our regular guest in JD Learning and Entertaining. And without doing any delay, I would like to ask question to our that Tara Chandra Yogi sir. At first, I would like to welcome you, sir. You are welcome.
Thank you, sir.
Sir, today we have we have brought our topics which is related to teaching and learning. Okay, and which is about the teaching and learning and student engagement and the students teaching in that modern era. Okay, and next thing, differentiated teaching, differentiated instruction is one of the modern technique. I have already told that, and which mainly address the need, interest of the students. Okay, and that is that differentiated instruction, which is different from more that traditional approaches. Okay, and now I would like to ask you a question. I would like to put first question to you, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay. And what do you understand by differentiated instruction or a differentiated teaching method? What do you understand about this?
Yeah, actually, differentiated teaching instruction means it is little bit different than traditional teaching method, but it is nearly equal of modern teaching activities or modern teaching methods approaches. Here in differentiated teaching instructions, the rule says that the students should be individually taught. The students' individual attention, interest, and profiles, needs, etc. should be studied, and according to those things, a student should be taught. This is the main idea, I think, of differentiated teaching instructions.
Okay, sir. Okay, and you told that that differentiated instruction is that is one different approaches from traditional approach, yeah? And which is also one
Yes.
standard approach you told. And what differentiates and did you find between modern approach or this approach and differentiated approach and the traditional approach of teaching and English language mainly? What difference?
The main difference what I have found, the first number difference is this differentiated teaching instruction says that students should be taught individually, means single student.
Mhm.
The attention should be paid to the single student, while in traditional teaching activities or traditional teaching instructions, there is the question of group teaching.
Yes, sir.
The students are large in number, and they are from different sectors, different families, backgrounds. Even then, there was single teaching method, that was group teaching. And in traditional teachings, teacher was everyone, like a dictator. There was fear, the atmosphere of fear. There was the management of some physical punishment as well. But here, in differentiated teaching method or instruction, it is likely modern teaching methods. So there is no management or there is not any kind of arrangement of giving punishment. And this is the difference here. And because in traditional teaching, there was not the question of individual teaching. That was
Yes,
not
sir.
the question of interest of the student. Here it talks about the interest of the students. It talks about the readiness of the students. It talks about the profile of the students. But in traditional teaching method, there were not like that anything, sir. This is the difference.
You are right, sir. And actually,
Hmm.
differentiated instruction is vast different from uh, that traditional approaches of teaching English language. Basically, we talk about English, yeah. And next
Yes.
thing, instruction that
Yes.
differentiated instruction is one child-friendly instruction, one thing, or student-centered that teaching,
Yes.
or means instruction that is. And what are the principle of or the what are the main principle, what are the core principle of that this instruction or differentiated instruction, sir? Principle.
Yes. The main is the main principle. Three things we can take.
Mhm.
One, the readiness of the student.
Mhm.
Readiness of the learner.
Mhm.
Second, interest of the learner. Third, the
Mhm.
profile of the learner.
Mhm.
So it means perhaps it wants to say that when teaching a student according to differentiated instruction,
Mhm.
students' readiness should also be observed whether the child or learner is ready or not to learn.
Yes, sir. Yes,
It
sir.
is right because
Mhm.
if one person is not ready to accept anything, a man is not ready to receive anything, then
Mhm.
nothing can be done. No pressure can work there because it's
Mhm.
learning. Learning is sensitive work, so it depends upon the readiness of a child. If a learner is ready with pen, pencil, his devices, then only teaching can be possible. In the same way, second, I said, according to differentiated instruction, it is the interest of this learner. So the teaching should be made interesting. The student should be attracted towards the learning techniques, learning ideas, learning things. But
Mhm.
if the child is not interested to learn, if a learner is not interested to learn, then learning cannot be there. Of course, some activities can be done there, but no achievement will be there. Third is the student's profile. Means uh, while teaching according to the differentiated teaching, it also it is mentioned in modern teaching too that the profile of the student is very much important. What is the name of the student, from where he belongs to, or what is his economic condition, what is his background, what is his physical condition, these all things, what is his interest, so should be studied like a case study. Then what happened, a teacher should make a planning lesson plan or ideas, a kind of map in the mind to teach that very student. So according to differentiated teaching instruction, readiness of the learner, interest of the learner, and profiles of the learners are the core principles, sir.
Okay, thank you so much, sir. And one thing, while talking about the principle of this that differentiated instruction, one thing you told that
Yes,
readiness of the students, okay, and next thing you told that the interest
yes,
of the students, the need of the students, and next thing the portfolio of
yes,
okay, and related to this, you
yes,
told that
profile.
I want to ask one question. Okay, you told that three principle: one readiness of the
Yes,
students,
yes,
one interest of the student, and next profile of the students. Okay,
yes,
and how can a teacher
yes.
effectively that assess or the evaluate the variety that readiness of the students, okay, interest of the students, and the portfolio of the students for implementing this differentiated instruction well?
Yes.
Mhm.
So for that
It means, yeah.
there should be, while a teacher is there in the class, the teacher should individual student we are talking about. So
Mhm,
if
mhm,
we talk about the group or every student in the classroom,
mhm,
then it may be difficult for a teacher to find out the profile, the interest, or the readiness of a student. But
Mhm.
if a teacher is told to to find out, to make a survey
Mhm.
of the students' readiness, students in interest profile,
Mhm.
I don't think it is difficult, because a teacher is taking a single student.
Mhm.
And it is not difficult, because if a teacher pays attention, he can find out whether the child is ready or not. For example, a
Mhm.
teacher can ask, do you have
Mhm.
pencil?
Yeah.
Do you have pen?
Mhm.
Do you have a copy to note down? Do you
Mhm.
have your smartphone?
Mhm.
Is your networking?
Mhm.
So these are some questions that can give some kind of that symptoms or indications to the teacher that child is ready.
Mhm.
And now interest. How
Mhm.
are you feeling? Are you feeling well?
Mhm.
And what's about your food? Have you taken your food?
Mhm.
Have you got any problem? Is there
Mhm.
headache? Then if
Mhm.
child says no, sir, I don't have any headache, and I'm ready.
Mhm.
I'm feeling happy. I'm feeling nice. I'm happy with you. Then what
Mhm.
happens? The teacher can find out that child is interested now to read.
Mhm.
And in the same way, the profile,
Mhm.
when a teacher, because teacher has got a register,
Yes,
attendance
sir.
register,
Mhm.
the teacher attendance, and that is same way teacher takes admission at the time of admission to his father's name, his father's occupation, his
Every activity,
caste, his
every activity
area
they are
where
recorded.
recorded. So
Mhm.
there, from there to a teacher can find out the profile, and making a study, a survey,
Mhm.
and teacher can find out the readiness of an individual, the interest of an individual, and some portfolio, or some special thing about the student. But if it is the question of one individual student, then I think it's not difficult.
Yes, sir. This much, yeah.
Yes.
Uh, okay, sir. Okay, sir. And this way, the teacher can assess and evaluate the readiness profile and the interest of the students. Okay, for implementing
Yes.
that this approach, this method well in the
Yeah.
classroom. One thing, and next thing, I want to ask you. And you told that this is modern technique, which is student center technique. It means it has.
Yes.
I think it has so many advantages. I think. And what are the advantages of
Yes.
this
Yes.
differentiated instruction, sir? What advantages have you found?
Advantage as well.
In
Advantages
brief.
is very good, because if we go according to the individual study, then what
Mhm.
will happen? The teacher's labor and
Mhm.
time will not be wasted, and the target, the lesson plan, what a teacher has made will be fully implemented.
Mhm.
The student will be able to learn whatever has been taught.
Mhm.
The
Yes, sir.
teacher's attempt will not be wasted, because the child is ready, and
Mhm.
the child is interested as well,
Mhm.
and teacher has made his okay his profile. Teacher has studied his profile, his ideas, his background. So
Mhm.
according to that, teacher can make some plannings, and then that will be very good, very easy. That is the advantage, sir.
And
Yes.
and I
Yes.
think it is that this there's differentiated instruction is has so many advantages. I think. And does this approach have any disadvantage, sir?
Of course, when hello, of course, when there are some advantages,
Yes, sir. What are?
naturally it happens. It has some advantage too.
Yeah.
So everything has got advantages as well as disadvantages, but we have to calculate whether the thing has got many disadvantages, or advantages are many, or disadvantages are many. On the basis of these things, we determine that this thing is good or bad. And the same thing
Yes, sir.
here too. What I
Mhm.
find the great disadvantage, the big disadvantage of this very or modern technology, or this is also modern technology,
Yes, sir.
modern teaching methods, is
Mhm.
that they are time consuming.
Mhm.
They need lot of time for implementing their principles in the classroom.
Mhm.
Another is that here we are talking about single student, individual students.
Mhm.
And in a fixed time, how can it
Mhm.
be possible for a teacher to teach so many students, and about 20 students? So if we talk, at least 20 students are there in the class.
Mhm.
So do this way, I think it will be a great burden on the teacher will
Mhm.
not be able to do these all things, because to make to ask about the readiness of every child, to talk about to find out the interest of every child, that will be a little
Mhm.
bit difficult. And for
Mhm.
that, teachers should be highly trained, and it is difficult to find every time
Mhm.
highly trained teachers. See, modern technology, it is so what happens, the in modern technology, it is
Mhm.
difficult to find every kind of devices, modern
Mhm.
tools in the school. So they are the disadvantages. One, it is time consuming. Secondly, a lack of expert teachers.
Mhm.
Thirdly, available of all the teaching materials, including some smart devices with the students, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. One thing, and as you talked about the principle of that introduction, I also think that it is the our classes are heterogeneous classes. Okay, the students are from different
Yes.
lingual background, economical background, different what that geographical background, and I think it is so difficult for that addressing or respecting all students' needs. That is also I think it is difficult, challenging. Next thing,
Yes.
for keeping record, for keeping the profile of all the students is also impossible. It is difficult, it is challenging for
Yes.
the teacher.
Yes.
Okay? And
Yes.
so according to you, I think there are some of that disadvantage of this differentiated instruction. Okay, so I think it is
Yes.
challenging. And what challenges should the teacher face while implementing this teaching method in a classroom, sir?
Yes, in the classroom, I have said that because
Mhm.
these approaches and
Mhm.
modern methods, or if we talk about this differentiated instruction,
Yes, sir.
they are implementable. They can be
Mhm.
implemented only in the well maintained schools and colleges and classrooms.
Mhm. Yes,
If
sir.
we talk about our classes, if we talk
Mhm.
about our school, I
Mhm.
don't think that these all the materials or required materials tools are available here. And
Yes, sir.
another
Yes, sir.
thing is, only teachers cannot do anything, because
Mhm.
for the readiness, I said
Mhm. Mhm.
that teacher asks question, have you got
Mhm.
your book, have you got child your copy? In the same way, he may ask, have you
Yes, sir.
got your smartphone?
Mhm.
Then what will be the answer of our students question?
Mhm.
Because they are deprived of potential nutritious food,
Mhm.
their initial condition is so bad, then
Mhm.
how can they afford a smartphone with them?
Mhm.
And the question comes of data also.
Mhm.
So this way what it means, it is very challengeable for not only for the teachers, for the even for the students, because
Mhm.
uh, here in differentiated teaching, or in modern teaching approaches, we need
Mhm.
some tools. We have to teach through mobile cell phones,
Yes, sir.
some accounts,
Mhm.
etc, etc. So these teaching and learning materials are not affordable for our students, and teachers too are not very experts, because that of course government provides some community school teachers some kind of trainings, but
Mhm.
what I feel, that those trainings are not quite enough for the need of the modern age. That's why
Mhm.
there are many challenges for the teachers to implement the principles and teaching activities in the classroom, sir.
Mhm. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you so much, sir. We are
Mm.
nearly at the end of the our program. Okay, and one thing
Yes.
I am fully satisfied with you that, and I am fully agree with you that uh,
Mm.
uh, for implementing this instruction, this approach, I think it is very much challenging for the teachers. Okay, and
Yes.
one
Yes.
thing, in the context of our country, in the context of our their classrooms, in the context of our school, okay, there is no that sufficient teaching materials, that good, that trained teachers, okay, excellent teachers. One thing, next thing, everything is. not only the teaching material, not only the teacher, in the context of our environment, okay, the environment around our school or environment around us. Next thing, the physical infrastructure, and that due to such problem, it is so difficulty for challenging for the teachers, okay, to implement this in our classroom, in our
Yes.
school. One thing,
In,
and next thing
yes. In
also,
the same way,
not all. Yes, sir.
in the same way, some of the learning materials should be
Mhm.
brought by the students. For example,
Yeah,
smartphones.
yeah.
Teacher is not to make available the smartphones to the students.
Mhm.
Neither the school gives.
Yeah.
So a student should be quite enough to afford that very expense, and that's not the condition of our students.
Mhm. One thing you talk about the cell phone, eh? One thing,
Yes,
student cannot
cell phone,
bring
smartphone. Yeah.
cell phone. That is one thing. Okay. And next thing, our administrations, that in our school, we even we teacher are not allowed to take mobile in school. Okay.
Yes, yes.
We are not that allowed. And if we take we have to make switch up, okay, and such barriers we have. I think this for due to such problem, it is challenging also. And uh, yes, lastly, I would like to ask you, what message do you want to convey to our audience, to our teachers, and to our education related people regarding differentiated instruction and the implementation of it? What message do you want to
Well,
convey?
because our program is in English, that's why what I believe that only English speakers or the ELT personalities will be able to understand and
Yes,
will
sir.
watch our program. So definitely it is like that. So what I would like to say that this differentiated teaching instruction is not far different than modern teaching activities or modern teaching principles or approaches. But here one thing is that it emphasizes on individual teaching, which is a little bit difficult in reference of our in context of our Nepal, because we people cannot afford all the expenses, and students too are not of that standard that they can carry some modern devices like smartphones, etc. It's good, it's useful, but but only teachers cannot do these things, because there is it is time consuming, and we have a fixed or limited time. Within that very time, we have to see more than 40 students in 45 minutes time period. So here in context Nepal, it is much difficult. But even then, if there is anyone who can make this kind of things implemented in the classroom, that is very nice, because it is very simple. What I've got that a teacher has to find out whether the child is ready or not, and for his readiness he might ask some questions of like whether he has got pens, pencils, copies, erasers, smartphones. And for the interest of the child, he might ask some questions, how the child is, what is the child's learner's physical condition, whether there is any pain in the body, whether the child is feeling drowsiness, or whether the child is feeling any sickness. So this way that interest of the child can also be asked. And the last remains of profile of or record of a child. That can also be done through some, because in the school there is a record of the student. So they, from there, a teacher can find out some individual information regarding child's interest, child's background, child's family atmosphere, like this. So it's not impossible. This task is not impossible, but very difficult in case of our schools, where the teachers are not experts. Time to time, trainings are not given, and the approach of a network is also very unstable here in Nepal. Here, even in the cities, but when we do this kind of some online programs, we suffer a lot. Today, two times we have tried, because of the unstable electricity, or
Net.
unstable Need problem. So in this very condition, it is very difficult to implement such things. But what happens if we come to know? So we should study. We should know. We should see what the new child, new information, new ideas, principles on the in the field of teaching are coming. We should welcome them. Sir. This much.
Thank you so much, sir. By being agree with your sharing, I would like to suggest some or that convey message to our audience and some our teachers. Okay, you have told that we are using English language, so we are our program in English language. So our audience are only English teachers. Okay, and one thing
Yes.
mainly, if we want to create that apply this that modern method or the differentiated instruction, if you want to apply, if you want to implement in our classroom, at first there should be support, there should be care from all side. It means all agencies. It means from administration, from guardian, also from local bodies, from central government also. It means it means there should be good infrastructure, management of good infrastructure, that teaching materials, okay, teaching aids, and the management of good internet also, electricity like this also. As you mentioned earlier, and we try to that discuss or we join for 2 times due to electricity problem, due to net problem. This is one of the problem. And one thing, so the administration also should care the interest of the children. Okay, they should keep the profile, they should keep the record of the student. Okay, and if they keep the record from very beginning about their biodata, about their activities, about that action they performed in the educational session. Okay, and then it will be very easy for understanding their interest, understanding their about them, and by that addressing their that need, by addressing their interest, and the teacher also can teach. One thing, and next thing, there also should be very what to say, environment also, good environment for learning. Okay, for that will also help for the teacher. And inside the school, there should be child friendly environment. Teachers should be trained that sufficient material to be what to say, managed. And if such things are managed, if such things are available, only there can be I think the effective implementation of this technique or the differentiated instruction. This much, sir. And now it is time to depart. By
Yes, sir.
by saying this much, we can conclude our discussion. Thank you so much.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Thank
Thank
you
you.
so much.